The wife is cleaning up her house one afternoon and complaining of a pain in her leg. She slowly sits down, claiming that she needs to go to the doctor urgently to get it checked out because she is in so much pain. She says her husband is almost home and she hasn't made lunch for him yet because of the pain, and she wonders what she is going to do because she can barely walk. A few minutes later, she is cleaning up the kitchen and says that her husband is coming home, and she hasn't had time to make any food. She is desperate, but she is in so much pain that she can't do anything. She says that she just wants to sit and lie down, because her leg is in so much pain that she needs to go to a hospital. Hours later, she is talking to her husband. She asks him to forgive her because lunch is going to be a little late. She explains that she is in pain and is having a very bad time, but suggests him to eat some fruit while she finishes making lunch. Frustrated, her husband says that he comes home tired from work, and she is offering him fruit to eat. He asks if she is going crazy. He says he wants to eat and doesn't care that she is having a bad time, because it's not his problem. The wife asks him to be patient with her, asks him to take a shower, and when he comes back, he will be able to eat. He just needs to be a little patient, because she is having a very bad time. Her husband says he doesn't care. He will take his shower, and when he comes back, he wants the food ready on the table, because it's not his fault that she is having a bad time. Minutes later, the wife is stirring the pans and saying that she will make the food quickly for her husband. The husband arrives asking his wife where his food is, and she answers that she is already putting it on. Minutes later, while the husband almost finished eating, the wife arrives with a limp and tells him that she needs to go to the doctor, and asks him to go with her, because she's feeling a lot of pain in her leg, and this pain is spreading to her foot. She begs him to book the doctor and go with her to the hospital. She says that she can't take any more of this pain, and she's worried about her leg. Her husband then asks if she is going crazy, and says that if she wants to go to the doctor, she just must go to the hospital line the next morning, that she wakes up at dawn and goes face a line to see the doctor alone. Desperate, she asks him to stop being mean and go with her, because she is not bearing it. Her husband replies that this is just a little pain, that she just needs to take some medicine and it will pass, and that she doesn't need to spend money on a private doctor, because he doesn't have any money. The husband leaves the table and the woman alone. She accepts that she won't get help and goes to sleep on the couch, because it is easier for her to wake up earlier to go to the doctor the next day. She complains that it is easier to go alone than to depend on her husband. She lies there, frustrated and sad with her husband, and sleeps on the couch even in a lot of pain. The next day, the husband is sitting on the couch messing on his cell phone and laughing at messages from friends, not caring much that his wife was having a bad time last night. When suddenly his wife arrives with some papers in her hand, thanks him for being there, and says that she needs to talk to her husband now. Then the wife tells him that she went to the doctor, and she has an inflammation in her foot, and shows him the results of the examination saying that her spine has a serious problem, and she will have to take an injection, because her spine is crooked. It looks like the letter S. Laughing, the husband asks what he has to do with it, and the wife then says that he is her husband and that he's the one who must be responsible for the house, and she explains that she does the cleaning so she can help him. But he is the one who helps in the house, and she needs his help to buy the medicine. And the husband says that since she's cleaning, she can keep doing more cleaning so she can save some money, and then she's going to take the exam. And he says he's leaving because he is going to work. A while later, the wife is on the phone with her mother and she ends up telling her mother that she had to go to the doctor, because she is having a very bad time. and the doctor gave her a lot of medicine to take, saying that she has a condition in her leg and her back. Then she asks her mother if she has any money to lend her, because she asked her husband, but she knows how he is. He never has any money for her, and says that as soon as she gets better she will do more cleaning services and will return the money. Her mother agrees to lend her the money and she thanks her, saying she doesn't know what would become of her without her mother. And the two say goodbye. She talks to herself and says she doesn't know what would become of her if it weren't for her mother to help her at this time. She says it's a shame to have a husband in the house and must borrow money from her mother in order to pay for medicine. She says this is a shame, and complains about that difficult situation. 2 weeks later, her husband comes home from work with a lot of pain in his stomach. He slowly closes the door behind him, looking for somewhere to lie down, because he can't stand this weird pain anymore. He takes off his bag, barely being able to take it off. He just wishes to stay still. He lies on the couch complaining of pain in his stomach, and that he's cold, and lies there alone, thinking about what could have caused this, because he doesn't remember eating anything overdue or weird that may have left him with this much pain. At that moment his wife sees that scene and gets worried, asking him what happened. He says he was at work and began to feel stomachache, chills, and that in fact he does not even know how he got home because he's getting really sick. He can't even think about his words as he speaks, because of the pain, although he states that he didn't eat anything overdue or with a weird smell that could cause this, so he doesn't know why he's like this. And she tells him to stay still and lie down, that she is going to get him a blanket, and she will also get a thermometer to take his temperature. She comes back a few minutes later and covers her husband, and he thanks her for her help, and she says she's going to get the thermometer and make him some tea, and asks him to wait because she'll be right back. The husband lies on the couch complaining about the pain and the cold. A while later, his wife comes back with a cup of tea for him, telling him to sit down to take the medicine. She helps him up, hands the medicine to her husband who was very ill, sits down next to him, and watches him take the medicine and the tea. Soon after, she tells him that she has already called his boss to tell him that he was not going back to work today because he was ill, and that his boss said it was okay. He asks her if she can take him to the doctor to have some tests done, because he is not well, and his wife answers that she can. He says that the only problem is that he doesn't have any money. But his wife answers that she did some cleaning and has some money saved up, and she will make an appointment for him to see the doctor. He thanks her for this, and she tells him to wait because she will schedule an appointment for him, then gets up and tells him to lie down. She covers him again with the blanket, and says that soon those symptoms will pass. Minutes later, the wife comes back to tell him that she managed to get the doctor's appointment for her husband for the next day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Her husband gets desperate, saying that he needs the doctor today, because he is very ill, but his wife says that she will only get him there today if a patient drops out. He asks her to try again, and she then decides to call the hospital. When they answer, she says that she had called earlier to make an appointment for her husband, and asks if anyone has given up on the appointment and try to get him seen today, because he is very ill. She is happy that she was able to make the appointment for 5 o'clock today, and says she will take her husband there and says goodbye. Then the wife tells her husband that she managed to make the doctor's appointment today, and tells him to get up and take a shower, and then they both go to the doctor. Then she helps him up with all love and care, hoping that he gets better. She really worries about him and tries to get him up carefully, to not hurt his stomach. Hours later, the two arrive home with the husband leaning on his wife's shoulders. She asks if he is better now, and he says he is getting better. She helps him sit on the couch and sits down next to him. Then she explains that she's going to call the pharmacy, because the doctor has given him a lot of medicine. And she tells him to stay still on the couch. And she goes there to get his medicine. The husband says he doesn't have any money, but the wife tells him not to worry, because she will use the money she was saving. He thanks her and says that he will give it back to her later, and she says that he doesn't have to worry about it. While the wife is calling the pharmacy, the husband is sitting on the couch thinking that days ago he had been mean to his wife when she was having a bad time, and now she is taking care of him. He thinks that his wife didn't deserve that treatment. He says that she is so good to him, and he has denied her so much. Then he goes to his wife in the kitchen and says that he wants to talk to her, and his wife asks him if something happened, and he answers no, that he just wants to ask for forgiveness. He wants to ask for forgiveness for the day she was having a bad time and he didn't help her as he should have, because she didn't deserve that. And the husband goes on to say that she always takes good care of him, especially when he is having a bad time, that she always helps him when he doesn't have any money. She tells him not to worry. Her husband apologizes once again and says that he loves her, and they kiss. He thanks her again for taking care of him, and they hug. Appreciate who is always by your side, because in times of need, this is the person who will be with you.